Hey everyone, welcome back to another print-on-demand video. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how to create t-shirt designs that actually get sales. Now, I've been a print-on-demand seller for just about 10 years now, so I've learned a ton about creating good t-shirt designs. All of that is going to be shared with you in this video today. Now, this video specifically is going to walk you through everything step by step. I'm going to put you on screen recording on my computer, and we'll literally go through this click by click with real examples. Now, the last thing I want to say before we jump into this tutorial is that this video could be an entire course on how to create these designs. It's going to be totally free for you guys here on YouTube. So all I ask is if you do enjoy this video, please just give it a thumbs up. All right, without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Okay, so when it comes to creating t-shirt designs for print on demand, the very first step doesn't actually start with creating the design. We have to go back a few steps here and we have to research the niche that we're going to create the design in. This is one massive step that a lot of new print on demand sellers skip over, and that's the reason that they may create a bunch of designs and never see sales on them. So this is actually very easy to do. You can do it totally for free, and I'll show you how to do it right now. So coming over to the computer, the tool that I recommend using to do this is called ChatGPT. Now, if you haven't heard of ChatGPT, it's essentially a really good artificial intelligence tool that currently is free to use. So you come down here into the message ChatGPT box, you write it any question or prompt, and it essentially acts as a virtual assistant. It uses artificial intelligence to go find the answer you're asking it for and gives you a clean, concise answer pretty much instantly. So for this very first stage in this process of researching niches and coming up with ideas to create designs in, what you want to do is say, write me 20 hobbies. Now, I'm just going to type in 20 hobbies. As you get into this and you start doing it yourself, you can use any amount of numbers. You can say 30, you can say 50, you can say 100. It's just going to give you a longer list. Now, I'm just going to click enter. And as you can see, this starts writing out a list for us pretty much instantly. Now, two really important things to know at this stage. If ChatGPT becomes paid in the future and you don't want to pay for it, you can do this on Google. You're just not going to get as quick of results. They're not going to be as organized, but just know that you can do this same type of process for free over on Google. And the second thing is the reason that I've typed in 20 hobbies here is because over my years of selling print on demand, I found that hobbies and occupations are the best selling niches overall to create designs in for print on demand. Now, I know that is just a very quick sentence that's going to come and go in this tutorial, but I really hope that you take that to heart and remember that hobbies and occupations are where you can create an entire successful print on demand business, just staying in those overall niches. So with that being said, now we've got a list of 20 hobbies that we can go off of here. And this is really just the first step in brainstorming ideas. Now, a really good tip I can give you is that if you type in 20 hobbies, just like I've typed in 20 hobbies, you may get a very similar result. So this is where your own creativity is going to start to help you a lot. The more creative you can get in these searches, so typing in men's hobbies, women's hobbies, indoor hobbies, outdoor hobbies, as many different variations as you can prompt ChatGPT to come up with is going to give you the best and most unique results that no one else will be able to find. So for example, if you just type in 20 men's hobbies, you're going to see that this list it's creating is similar to the one above, but it's catered towards whatever you were searching for. So you're going to start to get really unique things like grilling / barbecuing. That's something that wasn't on this general list before. So now that we've done the second step and we have a little bit more of a unique list to go off of here, this is where this tutorial starts to get really cool. Over the last 10 years of doing print on demand, I have literally watched the big overall niches fill up with new print on demand sellers. Now, quickly, what I mean by that is that when people get into print on demand, the first thing that they typically do is they create designs in these big overall topics, whether that is fishing or dogs or cats. They're not getting very specific with their designs. So although we have already taken a step to come up with more unique topics to create designs in, it doesn't end there. There's more you can do to guarantee that the time you're going to spend on designing is actually going to get you sales from people buying shirts. So like I said, this is where this tutorial starts to get really cool. I'm actually going to bring you into the first tool that I use and I recommend for print on demand. This is something that I use religiously. It's basically a foundation of my business. And what this is a website called Merchinformer. If you haven't seen it before, it's basically a whole arsenal of print on demand specific tools. The reason that I like it so much is the information you get from their results is very accurate. So this is a paid tool. Just to be super transparent with you guys, you only really need the newbie plan here, which is about $10 per month. They have a 3-day free trial, so you can do this entire tutorial just on a free trial. And then I should also say that I have a personal 20% off coupon from them. I will put that down in the description. Now, with that being said, I'll get logged into my account and I'll show you how to use this. Okay, so once you are logged into your Merchinformer account, all of these things on the left side kind of drop down and they open up into even more tools. The thing we are specifically looking for at this stage in the process process is the competition checker. So if you just click on this, you can enter any niche that you were thinking about going into this box right here and search it, and Merchant Former will do all of the research for you and tell you very quickly if that is a good or a bad niche to go into. So let me show you how to use this in real time. So let's come back to our list, and this is the more specific list that we've come up with, not the more general one up top. And as you can see, some of these are still very general items, but that's where this tool is really going to help us out. So what we want to do is we want to copy these. So I'm just going to take hiking, for example, right click it and copy it. Then we're going to go back over here to the competition checker, and we're going to paste it, and then we're going to hit search. Now, as you can see, you have results right away. This is telling you everything you need to know about that niche. So if you can remember back to when you were in school, you got letter ratings. You got an A, you got a B, C, all the way down to an F if you failed. So that's what this is over on the right here. This is saying that this niche is too competitive. It has an F. That is a bad rating. We don't want to go into it. That means that there are just too many people competing in it. There's too many good designs already that are already selling. It's going to be hard for us to come in, create a new design, and get on that first page. So the idea here is that we want to come back to our list on ChatGPT, and we want to copy paste these until we can find ones that have A ratings. Now, in theory, this sounds great, but as you start to copy and paste these over there, the problem with this is that these niches are still going to give you F ratings. So many new print-on-demand sellers, they get to this stage and they think, okay, I've come up with a unique list of hobbies. All of these are going to be good. Well, as you actually do the research, you're going to find out that it's not even worth your time to create these designs because they're already too competitive. So this is where the next tip is going to come in, and this is going to change the game for you guys in print on demand, and it's going to make this whole designing process so much easier for you so you can consistently create best-selling designs. So we're going to keep using this tool, but I'm going to change something up on ChatGPT. So we just searched for motorcycling, and you saw that we got an F rating. So now let's come down here and let's type in 20 types of motorcycles. And now you're going to see that we have specific types of motorcycles. This is where you're going to get the truly unique niches to create designs in for print on demand. Now, just this tip here is worth its weight in gold because this is going to take what people typically think is a unique list of niches, and it's going to help you find the ones that your designs will actually get sales in. So let's start copying these. So let's take sport bike first. We'll go over here, we'll paste it. And just like that, you can see that this niche that not many other people are finding has an A rating. Well, it doesn't just end there. If you go back here and you copy the next one, cruiser, we're going to paste that. And since cruiser is a more general term, I'm going to type in motorcycle, just so it knows what I'm actually talking about, a cruiser motorcycle, and we'll hit search. And we're now 2 for 2. So this won't always be A's all the way through the list, but those first two have given us great results. So before you even get to creating your design, you have to spend your time doing this level of research. So search for a list of hobbies or occupations, then customize that list so that other people aren't getting those same results, and then take those results and search different types of it. These are the niches, or what I like to call the sub niches, that you want to be cross-referencing over here and creating a list of all of the ones that give you an A rating. Now we can get into actually spending time creating the designs. So I'll show you how to do that. So when it comes to creating the designs, figuring out what to make those designs about, which we've just done, is super important. But actually figuring out what that design is going to be is just as important. So the first thing that you can do to come up with ideas for the actual designs that you're going to create in these sub niches is you can come over to Amazon, or you can go over to Etsy and just type in what that niche is. So motorcycle t-shirts. And then just browse through here and get design inspiration. You don't want to copy anyone's designs, but you want to see what is on these types of designs, things that you might be able to customize from the overall niche of motorcycles down to the specific sub niches that we found over here. So cruiser motorcycles or sport bike motorcycles. Now, although going to these marketplaces and searching what other people are selling is kind of the most popular way that print-on-demand sellers come up with ideas, it's definitely not the most efficient way of doing it. So this is where another massive tip is going to come in, and I really hope you guys take advantage of this. Over the years of running a print-on-demand business, you start to see that certain phrases or certain slogans sell the best, and it really doesn't matter which niche they are in. Whether they are about motorcycles, or they are about fishing, or they are about sport bikes or cruiser bikes, there's just a pattern of specific types of phrases that work in almost all niches. So when you start to talk to experienced print-on-demand sellers, they will be able to tell you off the top of their head what their most common best-selling phrases are for pretty much any niche. Now, if you are kind of of newer to print on demand, you may not have this list built up yet because you don't have all of these sales to analyze and look at which phrases are selling the best. So this is where I'm going to put my only plug for the only thing that I actually sell for print on demand. I don't sell courses, nothing else. This is it. And this is the list that I have put together of the best selling phrases that work for pretty much all niches. In the next step here, I will use one of these and I'll just give it to you totally for free in this video, and we will create our designs with it. But if you want to buy more of these best selling phrases, there's going to be a link in the description. You can get 10 best selling phrases for $10. Now, with that being said, knowing how to find all of these really good sub niches and then check them to find the ones that are A rating and having these phrases that you can use to create designs for each one of them, you are going to have a very efficient process for creating designs that'll actually sell. So with that being said, now let's actually get into the fun part of this tutorial, which is creating the design itself. Now, when I started out in print on demand years ago, I was literally creating my designs by hand, and I was not a graphic designer. So a lot of my designs were text-based. I didn't really have any skill in this department. What I have learned over the years is that there are graphic design tools that have customizable t-shirt templates that you can use for print on demand. Now, I've used just about every design tool out there, and some of them have really big pros, some of them have really big cons to them. The one that I personally use myself is called placeit.net. One, they have the largest library of templates themselves, and two, everything on their website is copyright free and commercially usable. Having a license that allows you to use anything that you've created off their website to sell on print on demand is massive. That is a must for any design tool that you're using. Some of the big popular design tools out there are not made with this same license. So things that you create off their website will actually get taken down and you'll get a copyright strike on your print on demand account. So again, to be totally transparent about this tool does come at a cost. It's $9.99 a month. This is for their annual plan here. Everything is unlimited, so you can download as many things as you want. Now, it doesn't say it right here, but once you go through this, you can actually do a month to month, so you don't have to pay for a whole year. That is $15 per month. Again, I have a personal coupon code from them for 15% off. I'll put that down in the description as well. But I just wanted to spend a second to be totally transparent and justify why I use these tools and why they're so valuable for a print on demand business. So now that that's out of the way, let me get logged in and I'll show you how to use this to create your designs. Okay, so I'm logged into my account now. Once you get logged in, just go up to the search bar up here, and this is where you're just going to type in the overall niche that you're creating designs about. Now, to be clear here, you don't have to type in what the sub niche is because that's going to be super specific for designs. You just type in what the overall niche is. So that would be motorcycles, and then we can customize each one of these designs to whichever ones of these got A ratings. So if we go back over here and we type in motorcycle, just hit enter. This is going to show everything that Placeit has in regards to motorcycles. Now, just a quick note to say that they do have the designs that we're about to use, but they also have mock-ups, which is pretty cool. So once you do create a design, you can put that kind of photoshopped onto a model, and you can use that on social media or any marketing that you're doing for your business. It's just a really cool feature that's included in your subscription totally for free. So to make this easier, what I typically do is come over to the left side, go to show more filters, and I'm going to look for t-shirt designs, which is just down over here. If you click this, it's going to take everything else out, and it's just going to show you the t-shirt designs themselves. So all of these templates that you see here are all templates that you can click in. You can customize everything on that template. So you can scroll through, you can pick any of these, and something that's pretty interesting to know is that you don't have to use different templates for every slogan you come up with. You can actually use the same template and you could use that for 5 different phrases. So for this specific result here of searching motorcycles, you have 31 different templates that you can choose from, and you can use each template as many times as you want for different phrases. So let's click in on one of these. This is the one that I like the most at the moment right now. So this is just going to show you this. It's going to show you some similar ones that you could use. I do like this one itself, so I'm just going to click on edit, and this will bring you into their editor right here. Okay, so this is about to get pretty cool here. I'm excited to show you all of this. So all of these elements that you see here, you can click, you can drag and move them. You can make them bigger or smaller. If you want to undo something, just hit the little back arrow up top here. If you want to reset the layout, if you got things like way out of place, just hit the reset layout button right here, and it'll put it back to where this template started. Generally speaking, I would leave the layouts how they are. So if you do hit reset layout, it's going to put it pretty much to the optimal position, and then just change the text, change the colors, change the graphic, and you're good to go. So in order to change the text itself, you don't actually click on it and edit it right here. You go to the little text boxes over on the left. So going fast, super fast, whatever you type in up here is going to change this box up top. And then the same thing for this box. And then this is actually text right here, just something good for you to know. If you hit these 3 little dots, you can hit show. And if you start typing in down here, it's going to say that there's actually another line of text that you can use. I'm going to hide it. We're not going to be using it, but I just wanted to show you why this one was grayed out and how you can show or hide text. So going back one step, the best-selling phrases that you can customize to pretty much any niche out there, the one that I'm going to give you totally for free in this video is easily distracted by, and then you type in whatever that niche or sub niche is. So I'll show you how this one works. easily distracted by, and then this next line down here would be all of those sub niches that we've taken over here, and we've searched them on Merch Informer and gotten A ratings. Now, this is where a really important step actually comes in. So this is a little bit complex, but I'm going to simplify it down just so it's super easy to understand. When you have a specific phrase on a shirt, so to show you an example of this, easily distracted by, and then we haven't finished the phrase yet, but we're going to fill in the blank with, let's say we finish this with cruisers. So now easily distracted by cruisers is the full phrase. It is possible that for any niche out there, any full phrase can be trademarked. And what that means is that somebody, whether that's a person or a company, owns the rights to that specific phrase on t-shirts. Now, the part that's a little bit confusing here, and I'm going to try to clear up, is that we've customized this phrase ourselves. So we added on cruisers at the end, we filled in the blank. So that is a very specific phrase. Even if someone were to own easily distracted by, they own the trademark to that on t-shirts, we've now customized that our own to cruisers. We've made it more specific. So think about all of the hundreds of thousands or even millions of niches or sub niches out there that you could fill in the blank with. So it's very unlikely that somebody would own the trademark or the rights to use that specific phrase. However, coming from an experienced print-on-demand seller, these are things that you want to check before you create the designs yourself and sell them. So no matter what phrases you are going to use for your t-shirt designs, you want to do a quick trademark search to make sure that nobody owns that specific phrase that you are going to use. So to show you how easy this really is to do, just come back over to Merch Informer, go to Trademarks, and go to Trademark Alerts. And this is where you can type in all of these specific phrases that you are about to put on designs to make sure that nobody owns those trademarks. So our base template here is easily distracted by, and then the first one is cruisers. We'll go down one line by hitting enter. I'm just going to copy this and then I'm going to paste it. And then I'm going to type in the next one that we got an A rating on, which was sport bikes. And then you just hit save once you have that full list built out. And then come down here and hit check trademarks. You're going to get a little pop-up that says we're checking your data. Please allow a few minutes. All you have to do is hit the refresh page on your browser. Come down here and you're going to get either a green check mark or a red X. So if you get a green check mark, that means nobody owns the trademark to that, so you can freely use it. If you do get a red X, that means that somebody does own the trademark to that specific phrase. So do not put that on a design and don't upload that to a print-on-demand site to sell, because there's very good odds that they are going to flag your design, get it taken down, and then you're going to get a copyright or trademark strike on your account. Some print-on-demand websites take this extremely seriously, so if you get too many of these strikes on your account, they just take your entire account down, it gets suspended, and with that goes your whole business on that site. So I've only used the competition checker to find out that both of these are A ratings, but if you go through all of these, all of the ones that you got A ratings, you want to check all of them here, and then we'll go back over to our design tool, and that's where we know that we are in fact free to use these, and the trademark's not owned by someone else. So where we left off here of easily distracted by, we've got cruisers as our first one. Now we need to change this graphic to a cruiser motorcycle. So another great reason to use Placeit is you just go over to the little graphic here, you hit edit, and this is their library of existing graphics that are copyright free and commercially usable. So let's look for a cruiser motorcycle here. And here we've got it at the bottom. We'll just click on that. And I'm just going to move this up a little bit here, move that text up with it. And just like that, we've got our first design. Now, if you do want to change the color or anything on this graphic, just go to the edit here. And then the red and the gray are corresponding to the red and the gray here. So you can just click on them and you can change any of it right here. Now in the little library right here, something good to know is that they're going to suggest the graphics that they think would be best for kind of the template that you're on. But you can come in here and you can type in anything. So motorcycles, and all of these are going to give you even more that you can use. So I just used one that was suggested right away for this tutorial, but you can scroll through here and you can find specifically what you were looking for. When you click on any of these, what's really nice about Placeit is it will remove the one that you currently have and replace it with that new one. So you don't have to take the extra step of deleting the old one and putting in the new one in its place to see how it looks. So you can just keep clicking around here and you can keep testing out different ones to see which one looks the best to you. Now I'm just going to go back a couple and we're going to use that first one that actually looks perfect. And then a couple housekeeping items right here. You just want to make sure that this is snapped to the center. When you move it around, once you hit that pink line, it's going to be right to the center. Bring it up to the top, which is what you can imagine is the chest area of the shirt. Bring that graphic up with it, and then bring this text to match it as well. So we've got one more step that is super important when creating these designs. This blue background would actually get printed on the shirt if we were to just save it as it is right now. So come over to background color right here, and just go to the little checkerboard at the bottom. This is going to remove all of the background. Once you see that checkerboard, there is no background. So only the white text, the graphic and the white text will actually get printed on the shirt. So from here, just scroll up a little bit and go to download. It's going to say processing your design for a second here, and then click here to download. This is going to allow you to name that download when it saves onto your computer, and also ask you where do you want that download to save on your computer. So I'm just going to paste what I have on my clipboard, which is easily distracted by, and I'm going to type in cruisers. We're going to save that to our downloads. And when I open up this file, we've got the file right here on my computer. So easily distracted by cruisers, we've got a graphic of a cruiser. As you can see, it has kind of this distressed look, which is perfect for motorcycles. When you zoom in, the quality of all of this is really good. So when it prints on the t-shirt, you're not going to have any issues with it being blurry. But that is our first design right here. Now, something that you will learn as you get further along in print on demand is that creating one design is great, but knowing how to scale that so you can create a lot of designs very efficiently is the name of the game here. So when you come back to place it, that's where we're going to go reference our list. So the next one was sport bikes. We already know that this niche of sport bikes has an A rating. We know that this phrase of easily distracted by, and then you fill in the niche, is a really good selling phrase. And we've checked it for trademarks to make sure that nobody owns that specific phrase. So all we have to do here, and this is what I love about this whole process, is you just come down to cruisers, you change that to sport bikes, and then you go to the graphic. We're going to find a graphic of a sport bike. We'll just click on that one. It'll sub it right into our design, make sure it's centered here. So now that's the only two things we need to change is the sport bike text down here and the graphic right here. And now we have a second design ready to go. So we'll just hit download now. Give this one a second to load. Click here to download, paste that, and type in sport bikes, save it. And boom, just like that, now we have sport bikes, we've got cruisers, and we've got two designs that we just created. And as you can see, you can really scale this up. Now, the last thing that's really important to know, just a feature that would take you a while to learn yourself, is if you come back to place it, next to this download button right here is the little cropping button. So if you click on crop, it's going to take you into their image cropper. And for some websites out there for print on demand, they require a specific size for your graphic upload. So for example, on Amazon Merch on Demand, they want these to be 4,500 by 5,400 pixels, and you can do all of the resizing right here on Place It. So once you've got it here, just kind of zoom it in a little bit. This is just going to help you and make your design look even better when you upload it. Put that towards the chest area in the center, and then just hit download. Now, if you forget to do that on a design when you are downloading it, you've already changed the template, you can just click on your downloads up here, and you can hit view all. It'll bring you to all of your downloads that you have, and you can do the resizing afterwards. Now, I know this was probably a lot more than you were expecting from a print on demand design tutorial, but trust me when I say these extra steps are what separate people from just having a print on demand business and not getting many sales to a print on demand business that really succeeds. Creating the designs themselves is not actually that hard. There's tools that make it very easy to do, as you've seen, but it's all of these surrounding steps so you know what to spend your time on, what kind of designs to create, and how to make sure that you're not going to get in trouble when you upload them. Those are all so important to the process. So I hope I've laid this out in an easy to understand way. If you have any questions at all, just let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to help you out. And then the coupon codes, the resources, everything I have for you will be linked down in the description just so it's easy to find. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please just give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will be seeing you guys all in the next video.